All right, good evening, Who That Nation. Welcome to the WDN Chatline podcast. This is the host CB, and I'm here with my co-host WD. WD, start of a new era, fam. How you feeling?
Oh, I'm feeling good, and it's really really weird. Hey man, Da man, he's the head coach, but also another week of Saints headlines. So we gonna get into that. Let's get into it. You already shaking your head.
We definitely can't stay out the headlines, but we'll chop on that a little later. But I hope you guys are having a great night, Who That Nation, and it's the start of a new era, Who That Nation. Who That Nation, as you guys know, we just signed our former defensive coordinator, Dennis Allen. He will be, the head of the Who That Nation moving forward. So, how the show gonna consist tonight? We're going to give our thoughts on that. Was this the right hire? Was there other better candidates? And tonight we will open up the phone lines, to get you guys' thoughts on this pick. But and once again, just shout out to y'all, man, and hope you guys are doing well. Your week is going well. Um, mine is going pretty well. So that's basically how the show gonna roll. And then we chopped up a little bit about AK, but the show was just basically just the Dennis Allen hire and thoughts on that. So we start with WD. WD, what's your thoughts, man, on us signing Dennis Allen to become our leader?
He deserves it. It's really crazy because of course with the Saints, we always wanted just a competent defense, and we finally got a competitive defense. And not only do we have a competitive defense, the defense is what's leading the team. It's just crazy how we did a whole 180. Uh, high power offense, bad defense, and now it's horrific offense, and now stellar defense, a championship worthy defense, I'll say. So with that being said, I think Da he definitely deserves it. He been with this team for I think about 14 years. Yeah, man, he should know the ins and outs. I say he deserves it, and I'm glad he's the head coach. As far as the other candidates, there were some pretty interesting ones, some really really good ones, and I know there are definitely mixed feelings about who the Saints hired, and I can clearly understand it. But yeah, man, I think Da he deserves it.
Right. Congratulations to DA for getting selected. Yeah, man, I'm feeling the same way. I think he, you know, um deserved the job. Far as the other candidates, um, well, I'll talk about that in a few, but yeah, just far as DA in general, man, DA, he was on the staff in '06. He was part of the Super Bowl run. He left to become the Raiders head coach. I think 2012, 2013, no, after 2011, I believe. But he went to the Raiders for 2 years as a head coach.
Right.
And then he came back to us in 2015 all the way until now. So, far as our success with New Orleans, this man has been in the room basically. 80, 90% of our success, he's been in the room, at some point, some position. I believe he was an assistant head coach at one point with us. So, man, just him being able to learn behind Sean, um, how to win and etc. Man, I believe he's definitely going to, be a great head coach for us. Now, I know, some may look at the Raiders stink. I mean, let's just be honest. The Oakland Raiders during that time, who was gonna really just 360 change that at that time? I mean, you know how trash the Oakland Raiders was back in 2011, 2012. It was somewhere between that time where he, that's where he went and coached. The Raiders was a dysfunctional organization at that time. So, I mean, you probably would have had other, you know, guys, perform the same way. really the Raiders didn't start getting on the map until 2013, 20. They started gaining them draft picks, and then they brought Derek Carr on the scene. That's how they became relevant due to them being so sorry that they was capitalizing on them draft picks, and then they was able to start getting a few names. That's it.
Whew. When you say it like that, it sounds like you're talking about some teams in our division.
Right. So I mean, I ain't making no excuse for Dennis or nothing like that. But just listening to his press conference today, he said he was 39 years old. It's other young head coaches in the game, but he said he was 39 years old when he was selected as the Raiders head coach. That was 11 years ago. So he's grown. He's learned from the mistakes that he made as a head coach. He's had 11 years after that to learn and grow and get better. And also, you sitting behind a Hall of Fame coach. So I mean, I really ain't gonna, like I said, yeah, you do gotta, yeah, he did do that, his first stint. But like I said, we know what the Raiders was about at that time, and we gotta look at the point that he's grown, you know, ever since. And then he's with an organization. He knows the ins and outs. He knows all the players. I mean, he mentioned it all from the top all the way down. He knows everybody. He knows what the coaches stand for. Um, he knows what's expected. And these other candidates, um, I know Benemy, I'm trying to pronounce his name right, but Benemy, yeah, he was a New
I would have just
Orleans
said
native.
Eric. I would have just said Eric.
Oh,
Or
yeah,
EB.
yeah. For us, Eric, I know he was either Louisiana native or New Orleans native. Um, but far as him, knowing the Saints culture and ins and outs, far as being in the Saints organizations, he didn't have that over Dennis. Um, so like I said, we have a guy that's well known within the organization that helps a lot. Instead of bringing somebody in, you gotta he bringing a whole new wave in. Dennis is gonna bring his, like he said, he gonna put his depth on it. But far as like he don't have to learn, 80 to 90% of the team. Everybody knows who he is. So basically he just gonna do things his way. He gonna do things his way, and like I said, I believe, that he's going to do a great job with us. Hopefully, he carry that torch that grab the torch from Sean and keep it going. Hopefully we're not having a head coaching press conference for, you know, as long, if not longer than we did with Sean. So well, what's your thoughts on the little comments about his stinks as the Raiders head coach and maybe him compared to some other candidates?
I mean, pretty much what you said. The man he developed, man. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
he's been here all this time. He's been learning from Sean. I think he can do it. Uh, all the criticism. I mean, see, it's different with me. It's like I don't want to. I want to say, hey, y'all gotta stop, and you like I can understand, being uncertain or worried. As far as choosing him over the other candidates, the reason why most fans are maybe I would say afraid is because of the offense. The offense was just atrocious last season, and so the
Mm-hmm.
question is, can Da do enough? We know what he can do on defense. You just want to keep the defense intact, the personnel. Keep everything the way it was, a high competitive level. But as far as offense, you just want to see who he's going to hire as an OC. And who's going to be our quarterback? I mean, we can all see Jameis Winston, but right now we just don't know. We just got to see what he can provide for the offense as well. You know, um, I do want to point out. I mean, it was just as a position coach, but he was our secondary coach when we won the Super Bowl. So, hey, just
Mm-hmm.
want to point that out. He's been here. He's seen it all pretty much. So, I mean, with that being said, I just I believe that he can work some things out. I'm just very curious to see what we go offensively. But as far as
Mm-hmm.
the opinions I've seen, I can understand people worrying, but because right now it's pretty much unknown as far as the offense goes. So I can kind of understand it.
Right. No, far as the other candidates, I know far as this Rooney Rule, the Brown Flores news, I know that's been kind of that's been in the headlines, this past week
Ah,
or
man,
so.
it's just I just want to point something out there. It's just wild that it's like soon as the Saints is interviewing this dude, the next day, the news I'm expecting is like, Saints might make a choice as far as the head coach, and then everything pops
Mm-hmm.
off, and I'm like, God damn, it's always something. It's always something involving. Not necessarily saying that was really Saints related, but it's like, damn, it's like at the time he's actually interviewing with the Saints. It's just, man, it's always something seem to be connected with the Saints in some fashion. But
Yeah. Because, I mean, right there, you can be like, well, the Saints is on the clock. What they going to do?
yeah,
Well,
exactly.
gotta put us, yeah.
And I'm just waiting. Ooh, hey, like Brian Flores, I'm very interested. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I'm just very curious to see. I thought that was a good. I thought he was a damn good candidate. And then that shit popped up. I'm like, man, it's always something, man. Like, but hey, I hope that man win.
Right. But I will say this comment. Like I said, this is just my own opinion on the Rooney Rule. We all know that Rooney Rule, some BS. We already know that. And teams just bring in black candidates just to get by on that process.
Oh, absolutely, Lovey Smith, Lovey Smith.
Right.
That where did that come from, man? We come on, man. We knew it was up. Like that one just came out the blue. But I just wanted to point that out. That's a prime example.
Right. But I will say, like, for the Saints, and like I said, it's just my opinion. The difference between our squad compared to teams like just say the Dolphins, the Giants. I'll just use the Giants that, you know, kind of play where they did play Flores. They brought him in for an interview after they already know who the dude was. The thing with the Saints is we already had a head coaching candidate in the building last season. I mean, DA already had that juice to him last season. So the potential of a head coach in Dennis, that's been known for the past few seasons. So for us to make the hire on him, I mean, you can kind of understand that compared to, you know, teams. But I'm just saying, if somebody want to bring like the Rooney rule into play with like some of these teams, I believe on our end, if we didn't have Dennis, just say if Dennis wasn't, if he didn't have that head coaching, you know, pedigree to him. Like he wasn't performing well enough to be considered as a head coach in this league because we all thought he was gonna be a head coach pretty soon. If we didn't have that in Dennis, I believe we would have chose a black coach, and it probably would have been Eric. Probably would have been Eric or AG. But just consider that Dennis, he's been working his ass off, and being productive with our defense. And, he just been in the organization for so long. This choice, I mean, it's the right choice, for the job. But that being said, with Eric Bimmy, I'm gonna just say Eric. With Eric still not being considered as a head coach in this league, that's definitely blasphemy. That's blasphemy, on these teams. Shame on these squads, that didn't give him no shot to be a head coach. I mean, that's messed up. And one thing about we all know, certain coordinators. I mean, just because you're a great OC coordinator, since you're a great DC coordinator, that doesn't make you a great head coach. But that does give you an opportunity to be able to, get signed as a head coach. You don't necessarily have to, be a head coach or be a former head coach. Because if you look at guys like the head coach for the Rams, he done slept my mind. Cats like him, Matt LaFleur from Green Bay, guys like that, they wasn't head coaches before they assumed their role. They was some great coordinators. Um, yeah, man, Eric definitely deserves a shot. And you look at just like the Giants hire. If you don't want Brian Flores, somebody should have been interview Eric. But like I said, I don't want to get too off topic. Because the podcast we talking about Dennis, but that just needed to be put out there, just in case that side come with the Saints. We already had a head coaching candidate in the building, in Dennis, and like I said, I'm good with it because he knows the ins and outs of the Saints. Far as the staff, the culture, what's expected, and all he got to do just put his twist on it. And far as like you said, WD, offensively, man, I don't know, which way he gonna move to that. I seen something on Twitter. I don't know how true it is. Some sources saying that Pete is gonna assume a new role. I don't know if that's something on offense. I mean, he was offensive coordinator. I don't know if he gonna still resume that role, but if so, man, I just hope I just hope he can do good with the quarterback that we have, whoever that may be. But yeah, man, the big question is, how we gonna move on offense? Who is DA interested in? So
The guy he drafted.
you say what?
The guy he drafted.
You said the guy he drafted.
Mm-hmm.
Who is it?
Derek Carr.
Oh yeah.
Hey, look, I'm kind of half joking on that one. I'm kind of half joking. I'm kind of half joking.
But yeah, let's read some of these comments right quick. Let's see. We're gonna go up a little bit. Okay, shout out to the OG Jerry Poor. He said, I like the Dennis Allen signing. Okay, fam. Mascot Podcast. He said the passion and energy Allen brings to the defense, he will bring that to the whole team. MT coming back is huge.
I tell you what, one thing these teams definitely didn't want to see us keep Dennis Allen, man, because this defense is just on another level right now. So I'm just happy with that side, because you thought getting any other guy, it's not likely that Dennis Allen would stay here as a defensive coordinator. He would have been like, man, what y'all hire somebody else when this was my shot right here. He would have went elsewhere. So retaining him, I think that was pretty good, you know. So I'm just glad that side of the ball. I feel like that side of the ball is going to be good as long as we don't get complacent. But yeah, I'm just happy about that, man. I'm just happy that our defense is still going to be strong, man. Because you know how I feel about the defense. Because even when we was talking about possibly not having a good number 2 cornerbacks and all that stuff just a year ago, like before the off season started, I'm just thinking, I'm like, I know everybody was just afraid of having a horrific defense, a historically bad defense. Don't have to worry about that anymore, I don't think. So I'm just glad of that.
Right. And it also, like I said, I don't know who he's going to bring in as the defensive coordinator, but I believe he stays in house because you don't want to change up with him being the head coach. I don't think he's going to bring somebody off the streets in that's going to change up the whole defensive philosophy.
Yeah, and I think Ryan Nelson and I'll say Chris Richard. I think they all good candidates to be the DC.
Right. So yeah, he definitely it'll be Chris Richard or Ryan Nelson, one of those picks. But yeah, man, like I said, he definitely the defense whole philosophy won't be changing up. So he'll have his imprint in that, and I believe he still said he was gonna that he'll probably be calling the plays. So yeah, the defense, man, it shouldn't be going nowhere. And with that, being said, guys like a Marcus Williams, a PJ, guys
Quan,
that thrived in his defense.
Quan.
Quan. Now that
Oh my
he's the
God,
head
man.
coach, yeah, you can go down the list. Now that he's the head coach, I believe he's going to put a lot of energy in retaining those guys. You don't want too much to go out the door. Like I said, he's a head coach now, so he know it's all on him now. So at least if anything, you got to make sure that your defense, right? It was your defense last year, so I'm pretty sure he gonna, cats like Quan. At some point, Pete gonna be, in the rotation. I mean, far as a starter, but if they bring Quan back, it's still gonna be Demario and Quan. But yeah, just pieces like those guys, he definitely gonna bring them back. So yeah, offensively, yeah, that's really the unknown. I don't know how good of an offensive mind he is. Do he try to put his imprint in the offense, or do he just bring in a coordinator?
Well, that's where the questions lies because I'm just thinking like, okay, the only reason why we talking about, I think the reason why Pete Carmichael, for him to have a change of his role, it's just about maybe I don't think he had that much complete. I don't really think he had that much control of the offense. I think it was mostly Shine for the most part. I felt like Pete was maybe just a support guy. So, but I mean, maybe I'm wrong on it. I don't know. It's just about the personnel. I just think if Dennis Allen, if like I don't know, maybe they can look around for just an OC that can get the job done, man. I don't know, but it's so many questions on that. Like we can be all day with that one.
Yeah. And I believe that was kind of why some Saints fans thought we should have went with Eric. But like you said, if they would have hired Eric, I think Dennis was gonna go elsewhere. I mean, I
Exactly.
I, I don't think he would have stayed and been the he would
Absolutely not.
yeah, he would have felt some type of way.
I mean, it's really the the worst part about the Saints is always like it's always a half thing, man. It's either offense or defense.
Hmm.
I feel like we would have hired Eric. I just feel like we talking about Dennis Allen going, man. You never know. The whole bench of defensive coaches probably would have been gone. I don't know.
Yeah. And then like I was saying earlier, just far as the other candidates, really Doug Peterson was the only former head coach. He's done coach. He done won a Super Bowl. So besides it, really right after they interviewed him, the Jags, hired him anyway. So I don't think the Saints had much time to really do their homework. I mean, not homework, but had enough time to make a decision on Doug. But like I said, minus Doug Peterson, as far as these other coordinators, you really don't know what you were going to get. Like I said, all of those guys. Well, I know AG, Eric, Brown Flores. I don't forgot the other candidates, but yeah, those guys definitely deserve a shot. But when we talking about the Saints squad, like I said, we already had a guy that's been in this organization for years. He's been watching Sean for years. Been an assistant head coach for us. Was our defensive coordinator. So he knows everybody. This just made sense to me, you know. And like I said, with anybody coming, even if Eric would have came in, the offensive mastermind, that he's been with Kansas City, it really come down to the quarterback.
Yeah, and I mean when you say that, that was the con. I think not hiring him. I think the con there is he probably would have drew a quarterback, somebody like maybe like a Russell Wilson. I know people say like, well, what can we afford Russell? But I'm just saying, I just think somebody like Eric would have drew a quarterback. You know, that especially that's kind of in my home style. As far as being a quarterback in this era. Just the style of play. But that's the only kind. But I mean, I'm just really curious. It's really interesting with DA. You just gotta think like how is the personnel decisions going to work. With Shine, every draft we would be like, man, I hope this man don't pick an offensive line. See, it's going to be different because I mean Jeff Ireland and the scouting department, I feel like they're just going to point out all the talent per position. But of course, it was Sean making the calls, on the guy who he really wanted, as far as who was there. With DA, it's just going to be really interesting to see where he goes, who he chooses. Um, and not only that, I'm just thinking that man, I wanted to say something earlier. It kind of slipped my mind, dude, man. Damn, I think it's going to come back to me, but yeah, I'm just curious as far as the personnel decisions. I just want to see how DA does, but I hope that comes back to me because I want to hit on something. I hope it comes back to me.
Yeah, but if you look at it with Sean, really when Sean didn't have his hands deep in the defense and he allowed like a Dennis and stuff
Yeah,
to
yeah, yeah, yeah,
have
yeah.
control of the defenses was good.
Exactly, and that's kind of what I want to happen with DA on of course, the exact opposite.
Yeah,
Just get an experienced offensive coordinator.
yeah, that can have just let him. I'm not gonna say you know don't. I mean, Sean had some input on the defense as well, but
Shit.
I'm talking about not. We seen when he tried to have a lot of imprint on the defenses. I'm talking about for like free agent signings and stuff like that. Um, I ain't gonna say no names or nothing, but yeah, if Dennis gets a coordinator to where he trusts that can just handle the offense, have 85% of the offense, let him control 85% of the offense, plays, etc. I believe we can be all right. I mean, on that side of the ball. Just like I said, all we lacking is receivers, but the quarterback, that's gonna be the driving force of this offense in the pass attack.
Yeah, and I'm just curious to see, with Shine and when we had Drew, they had
Hmm.
free agents. They'll say, "Oh, I want to go to the Saints so I can, play under Shine or play with Drew." I'm just curious to see how it works now. Like, are there going to be any players specifically on the offensive side? Like, we can talk about quarterback, receiver, anybody. Hey, I want to come play with for the Saints. I mean, pretty much we got our defenders, man. As long as we resign most of those guys, but I'm just wondering how much guys the Saints are going to pull with DA. Some interesting names because we can sit up here and say guys that are really well known, like hey man, I wonder if we can get that guy on the Saints. I'm just very curious to see if they can pull it off. Not necessarily saying a big piece, of course, not too expensive, especially with the cap and all, but it's just I think it's interesting if we can pull some names. Be like, oh damn, I didn't expect to see him on this team. So
Right. So Yeah, I mean, I don't know how to go with that in the with this off season. I do know we strap cap again. Mickey, of course, he gonna get us through it again. But do we have you know enough money to throw at a solid number two receiver? How do we go about that? Do we draft a receiver? Um, According to these draft scouts, I mean, I really don't look into draft scouts like that, especially like Mel and Kuiper. But they said like this quarterback class,
Eh?
they said it ain't looking too good right now. And the top prospects, they don't see them as starters right away. So, like I said, I don't know how much juice that you can put into that. Because people's also saying stuff about Lamar, and you see, what he's doing. So,
Right. And I mean, look, I mean, let's say we don't really have I would say a what already like let's say we still have questions at quarterback. Man, I don't know how DA feel about Jameis. Let's say we actually resign Jameis. They might be like, hey, we still got to draft a QB. That can happen. So
hmm
I just want to say like where we don't have a conclusive response at QB before draft time come. I feel like they can, they probably have no choice but to draft a QB round one. But it's a lot. We got a few months and we'll see.
yep. I just know. I mean, the way he commented on Michael Thomas, Mike, he gonna want Mike there. I mean, he gonna need Mike there. I mean, if you try to throw Mike in a tree to get a Russ,
Huh?
or even I don't want that, but they, I mean, in order for like a Russ, I ain't gonna say A Rod because I think A Rod, I believe he can be a free agent or something. It's something with his deal. I forgot, but
Shit, they can take 2 or 3 first rounders and Caesar Ruiz and call it a day.
yeah, they gonna have to do something like that with these draft picks to get Russ. You can't throw Mike. I mean, I don't even know why Mike's name would even be in trade talks, but
And a 2-piece spicy with red beans.
yeah. Dennis was front row seats. He seen what our receivers was looking like last year, so that's the last thing he need to be doing is try to ship an all pro receiver off. So um
I'm just, how I feel about Michael Thomas. I, he's a beast, but I just don't know where his mind at. I don't know, man. I be worried at times, man. I don't know, man. Might be confused. Mike gets confused, and he start pop tweeting lyrics and stuff, man. He just like, man, what's going on? Like Mike, you still with us, man? It's just, hey, we'll see, man. I don't want to get too ahead and start assuming things, but
all right. So what is your so how do you well I ain't gonna say how do you think he'll fare out because we of course expecting him to fare out pretty good, but do you
yeah.
think he's gonna have issues or do you think he's gonna be worried about getting Sean Payton comparisons? Do you think the fans is gonna treat him like he's supposed to be Sean Payton off rip? Because we already know what happened with, Drew. It was a lot of spoiledness, a lot of fans being spoiled with that. So how do you think it'll be with Dennis? Just say we get out to a slow start. Just say we start off 1-4 or something like that.
Oh man,
Just worst
this.
case scenario. Do you
Oh god.
think they'll be want him out of town?
I
ASAP.
mean, it depends. I feel how CB. That's a tough question because I mean, it's so many ifs. Let's say we got an offense that's actually. Let's say that we got some pieces that could actually work on offense and look good, right?
hmm
And I mean, we already know we got the defense to get it done. If we looking bad, yeah, there are going to be some questions like what's going on, man? We got talent on this team. What is going on? Why is it not translating on the field? So I mean, they're going to definitely throw him on a hot seat. But I mean, I feel like let's say they don't do enough on the offensive side this off season, then I mean, what else were we expecting if they didn't do enough on the offensive side? So I mean, it's a lot of ifs. I mean, really, it's just mostly about the offensive side. We don't know who. Hell, you can say that we need every position besides center on offense. So it's just a lot of ifs. I don't really know. But I mean, it just depends. It depends on how it looks. You know, the personnel. If the team is falling apart, if it feel like he's losing the locker room, then yeah, of course, he's gonna definitely be on the hot seat. You know, everybody was like, well, it's not working out, especially after last season where. I mean, last season, look, as bad as the offense was, I mean, Jameis, you know, he led us to what 5-2, playing good defense.
Mm-hmm.
So looking at that, he's like, hey, you know, everybody's gonna be like, hey, look, even with a horrific offense like we had last season, um, hey, you got to get it done. And I know that's gonna like I don't want to be too hard, but I mean, when you say it like that, if we were to drop 1-5 or something like that, then that's how he's just going to be looked at. Just speaking on the reality of the situation. Uh, I don't think he's going to try to be like Sean. I think, to me, Da he kind of got a different style with him. I think he's a more. Y'all remember how he was getting in Brandon Brown's face? Uh, when it was 2015. You know how he was getting in his face. I mean, if you remember Sean Payton, yeah, I feel like he was more strict, especially like around the time we won the Super Bowl, and he kind of loosening up. I just feel like he got he got this little style with him where I don't think we're gonna have so much ego problems with him. Like I think the thing with Sean, man, I feel like his ego kind of got in his way a few times, even at critical times. I don't believe that's gonna happen. That's one thing I want to see. So is he gonna be looking for fans to treat him like he's Sean? I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure.
Right. So we'll see what happens, man.
I mean, but hey, what you think?
I mean, as far as that, I mean, well, it's just from Saints Twitter. You know, it's gonna be some people.
Oh Lord, hey, I'll tell you what. If we read every tweet from Saints Twitter, you're gonna get all kind of scenarios and thought going on in but because some people say some wild shit. Some people make some damn good points too. But
yeah,
man, it's very interesting. The thing with the Saints is like, look, regardless of this signing, people can be skeptical, people can be confident. At the end of the day, it's all interesting. And right now, it's definitely not a boring time to be a Saints fan because this is some wild crap, man. I mean, Sean Payton is really gone, bro. We got a whole new head coach. And for some of us, and yes, including I, hell, this is the second head coach I'm seeing with the Saints. As far as me being a fan, since being alive and stuff like that. So it's interesting, dog. I'm ready for it.
Yeah, I feel you. Definitely ready for this new era. Like I said, I feel pretty good. Like I said, it's not. I mean, just this pick, it just makes you not feel a lot of unknown and uncertainty. In my opinion, is I mean, like I said, we got pieces on the offensive side we gotta get corrected, but like far as a guy needing to learn out the players or the players responding well to the new coach, just say if it was a Eric or AG would have fit. AG was with us, so I think
I'm
they
gonna
would
keep
have
it real
responded.
with you. I'm gonna keep it real with you. I wasn't too crazy about them hiring AG. I know many wanted to see him get a shot. I was kind of, I don't know, I was questioning it. I was kind of questioning it. I ain't gonna hold you on it. But go ahead. I just wanted to point that out there.
is is
I ain't hiding it.
is that coming from a little bitterness? How he had our cornerbacks, not turning their heads, or
I don't know, man. Really, I think Aaron Glenn. I think he's a. I just with him. I think it's more like everybody looks at him like. No, don't get me wrong. He seems like a cool dude. He's the guy that everybody in the
hmm
locker room seems a lot like. And I just think that's what it comes down to. Like, oh yeah, everybody likes him, and that's why he would probably make a good head coach. But I wasn't. I don't know, man. I was just skeptical, man. Because I mean, with a head coach, it's a lot. You gotta, of course, we talk about make personnel decisions. You gotta push your foot down on stuff. I don't know, man. And another thing I do want to point out with AG, if you remember, man, we had players like arguing with him, like when it came to some games with the secondary and stuff. And I'm just thinking, I'm like, man, I just thought about some of those things. I'm just thinking, like, man, I don't know if it will work with him as a head coach. But I mean, he seemed like a cool dude. He seemed like but yeah, bro. I don't know. I see. When you put out Aaron Glenn, that's when I was like, man. I just think if you would have hired Aaron Glenn over Dennis Allen, especially when he was our defensive coordinator and AG was the Lions defensive coordinator, I felt like that would have been a huge slap in the face too.
yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. And Dennis definitely would have. Yeah, he definitely would have left and went somewhere else. But what I'm doing right now, I'm putting the link in the comment section. We would love for if one caller call in or a few, how many ever want to call in, just call in and let us know your thoughts and stuff on this new signing. How you feeling?
So hold on, we ain't gonna talk about the elephant in the room. It's a big ass elephant too.
Who you talking about? AK
Yeah.
Dennis. That's Dennis first. That's his first task for us with players.
Oh, cause with the Saints every week, 365, 366 on a leap year. Um, there's always something with this team. I mean, we can't look. You can't even say the all season at this point. I get it. We not in the Super Bowl, but goddamn it, how many times does this team got to make a headline? It's every week. Whether it's in the season, it's in the off season. We can be chilling. We like, what? It's time to relax, man. We about to get a new head coach. I mean, it's not even 24 hours, and we're like, oh man, Saints, hey, they just freaking interviewed Eric for 8 hours. Man, they're really close to making a call for head coach. And then bam. I,
Right.
when does it end, man? I mean, like I said, it's always excitement with the Saints, but bruh, sometimes it's just a little too much, man. It's just too much bad than good with this team. And it's like why? We got the personnel to make the Super Bowl. We of course we need a few more pieces. But goodness, man, it's like this team just don't help themselves. They don't help themselves, man. Like all these problems, man, all these rocks thrown at us. It's bad enough that the league is against us. We just don't do anything to help ourselves, man.
Right.
And that's what I'm just getting tired of.
That's true. Far as it's still details coming out on that situation. I'm just glad it was a male that he done that to, and
Oh,
not a female.
jeez. I
Cause
mean,
if it was a female, he was gonna be facing. He definitely gonna be facing suspension time.
that would have been a headline. That would
Yeah.
have been a headline. That would have been the headline that he actually did that, and yeah, it was like, oh yeah, it's a wrap.
Yeah, because maybe the dude could have been flexing a little bit at the club, or trying to flex on him or something. He was just defending himself. We don't know the full story to
It
that.
sure it sure looks bad though. It looks bad
Yeah,
right now.
yeah. But let's see how that goes. I mean, that's really far as with player discipline. That's really gonna be Dennis' first test, really. So a little first scenario to deal with. But he responded good. At this time he had no comment. Just wait for details to come out. We see how he handled that. See how the league handles that as well. But yeah, we stay in the news, for something. But
And look, it would not shock me if they make the headlines again this weekend during the Super Bowl. I mean, hell, we not even in the Super Bowl, and they find them their way to make the damn headlines. Now I'm just tired of it, bro. Just chill. Like just chill. Nobody do nothing crazy. Nobody else. All right.
mm,
God damn, it don't have to always be about the Saints, no. Okay.
I see. I see we got Jerry Poole on the line. Jerry Poole was good with you, OG.
What's good, fellas? Welcome back.
What's up, Jerry? Good to be back.
All is well, man. All is well. That's exactly what I want to talk to y'all about.
Okay, fam. How you feeling, fam? How you feeling on the news?
I feel great. I like the high. I like where this is going. This is the future of the New Orleans Saints. This is the dawning of a new era. And it starts with Dennis Allen as our new head coach. And I was hearing what you were saying, uh, CB and WD, and I'm gonna give y'all my take. And once again, and also shouts out to everybody in the chat. But I'm gonna tell you this from my perspective. You're gonna have some mixed reactions, just like you mentioned about the Saints Twitter. You're gonna have some mixed reactions from fans. You're gonna have some that will agree with you. You're gonna have some that will disagree with you. But the fact of the matter is this overall. Dennis Allen is our new coach. All we have to do is lighten up and go with the flow and see where this is going from here. So
Facts.
that's my take right there, CB.
Okay, that's what's up, fam.
Yep.
So what's your thoughts on the AK situation? Well, and also, well, before you answer that, how do you think Dennis Allen? Who do you think he hires the next defensive coordinator?
Well, the way I see it right now, CB, my highest take right now is I understand. I heard I know we had Chris Richard uh that we brought in last year. I mean, I I would take Chris Richard as our next defensive coordinator because he did a tremendous job revamping that secondary. And so if he can do two positions in one, be the secondary coach and the defensive coordinator, hey, let's go with it. I don't know who else is going to step up, but that's my only uh I would say my only meal ticket to uh to leading this defense to the next level. That's what I'm seeing right now.
Okay, I feel you, fam. Yeah, well, I
Mm-hmm.
think either him or Ryan Nelson should be one of those two guys. I don't think he bringing nobody off the street. That's just
Yeah.
gonna change the whole philosophy up, change his philosophy up. Really. So both of those guys know the style of defense Dennis likes, and you really just can continue to keep running it. So
Yeah.
yeah,
So either one of those two, it don't matter to me. If it's Ryan Nelson or Chris Richard, it don't matter to me.
I
Long as
feel
we keep
like
that, long as we keep that defense high octane like we did last year, I'm cool with that.
WD, did you say something?
yeah, I was just gonna say I feel like no matter who they hire, well, I mean, if it's Ryan or Chris, I just feel like it'll still be DA's defense. So I don't, I'm not really worried about that.
Right.
All right.
But OG, anything else you gotta say, fam? Thoughts on the AK situation? Anything?
Yeah, that's what I want to get to right there. First off, no, I did not watch a popularity contest on Sunday. Just to let y'all know, because that's all the Pro Bowl is right now. CBWD. Every time I look at the commercial, I'm like, man, I ain't watching that shit. Cause
No, no,
ain't nothing
no,
just something to play for next year.
bro. Look, and look, this ain't an original joke. This ain't an
Nah,
original joke because you definitely didn't miss nothing. But AK was the only one hitting out that day. So well, I'm
yeah,
sorry that weekend. Like I said, not an original joke, but what a joke, man. They got to do something with their game. I mean, they just don't play the game. Have the skills competition. The competition is pretty fun as far as the the precision, the races, dodgeball, the other stuff. But
yeah,
lose the game, man. Lose the game. If you're not gonna at least whether it's you don't want to get injured or you just don't want to play competitive game. Just don't have the game at all if it's gonna be like that.
no.
Yeah, people
Shit,
I
playing
hell,
for money.
shit, I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind if they just eliminate the Pro Bowl. 'Cause like I just said, it ain't nothing but a popularity contest. It's just to show off or something. It ain't the same like it was when we was coming up. Because y'all know where I'm going with this. The Pro Bowl was originally the last game of the football season, but because you had the Super Bowl first, and then you had the Pro Bowl last. But now they switched it up and have the Pro Bowl ahead of the Super Bowl. I guess because they want to make that the actual season finale when it come down to the Super Bowl,
Right.
and that's the way they want it. But hey, is what it is.
Right.
But on the AK situation, man, I was I was not happy when I heard the news about that, man. But he just need to get it. He needs to get his shit together, man, because they don't play out there in Vegas. They always say what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. They ain't bullshitting over there.
That's true.
Yep. So we'll
But
just see what goes from here. And and that's another thing right there. And I'm gonna get ready to get out of here. That's the thing about the NFL. They when a football player gets in trouble, you pay them all that money, and when they do something stupid, I don't care if they're guilty or not guilty. They can't wait to slap a fine on you, and they sure as hell can't wait to give you a suspension. And that's the sad part right there. You pay the players all that money, the coaches all that money, and you just gonna just take it away from them. Like, like really? I mean, they just need to get their shit together. That's all I'm saying. The NFL just need to get their shit together. Seriously.
I feel you, fam.
Yeah, and that's all I got.
I tell you what, I saw that picture. He can whoop some ass, huh? You know what we? Yeah, I'm gonna stop. Yeah. Um, I'm sorry. Go ahead, CB.
Oh no, I was just going.
Now just listen to what you
Be
were saying, WD.
Yeah, I take that back. I mean, I disregard what I was saying, man. It just I got caught up right there. But yeah, that's all I had, man.
All right.
But OG, man, we definitely appreciate you for calling in, fam, giving us your thoughts on our new head coach. You know,
Yes,
new
sir.
era. Let's get it.
Yep. And once again, shouts out to everybody in the chat, and shouts out to UCB, WD, and all the rest, and the rest of the team, Miss Carly and Uptown, and Payton, and all the rest of those guys. Y'all keep holding, keep it going over here, man, and never stop.
Absolutely, just been kind of busy, man.
Yeah, we
Um,
Yeah.
understand that.
but we know the Saints gonna keep us on it because there's always something with them. So
Yeah, and that's the thing, and one last thing before I head out, just cause the Saints season been over, it don't stop us from continuing to talk about it,
No,
absolutely,
absolutely not.
because every off season is a good time for us to see where this is going from here. Because now we got we got the free agency coming up, the new league start up in March, and the draft coming up pretty soon. The training camps, the OTAs, and all that stuff. So we never stop talking about Saints talk, especially during the off season. Our season been over, but the off season is never over for us.
Facts.
It gets the people going.
All right, well, OG, man. Well, you have a good one, fam.
You too, CB and WD. Y'all be blessed. Y'all take care.
all right, man. You too.
All right.
All right, WD. Well, you got any final thoughts?
Oh man, so this weekend is the last weekend of football for a while. Of course, unfortunately, the Saints ain't in the Super Bowl yet again, but I feel like we're gonna make it one of these years, man. I don't know when. It might be a season where I'm saying like, man, they ain't gonna make the Super Bowl. I don't know. We'll see. But I'm just saying, man. I tell you what, if Cincinnati does win the Super Bowl this weekend, I feel like that will almost feel like when the Saints won the won the Super Bowl, because it's like I don't know, when a team never won the Super Bowl, it is a special feeling. It's different. You know, of course there's not that much known with Bengals fans. We know they're gonna have some hopping on a bandwagon and stuff like that, but you know, I would definitely would like to see the Bengals win because you know, of course Joe Burrow and some of the former Saints players, not including Eli. Forget you, Eli, but yeah, man. That's all I gotta say about the Super Bowl. And also screw the Rams. So that's another good reason to root for the Bengals this weekend. But hopefully we get to see a Super Bowl sometime soon, and not just to appear in the Super Bowl, but to win it mofo. So that's all I gotta say about that. Shout out to the viewers. Shout out to the listeners. Um, Shout out to Jerry for joining us. And yeah, no telling when we'll be back on here, but it's gonna be soon because this off season just getting started, man. Look, we got a new head coach, some craziness already. It's gonna be a really really interesting off season. So don't think we're drafting the offensive lineman this time around, in the first round. So we'll see. We'll see. Lastly, for me, make sure y'all like, share, and sub if you haven't already.
Facts, fam. Appreciate that. Shout out to Brian Pierce. I see him in the house. Say, does anybody know how many years he got on this deal? Nah, I don't. I don't at the moment. Um, but I'm pretty sure that it's probably a 5 year deal. I don't think they gonna have him on no short leash. But yeah, man. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. And at the end of the day, man, this it's a new era. Dennis Allen. Dennis Allen is the head coach of the New Orleans Saints. Dennis, I hope you can lead us, man. I hope you can lead us to the glory land. The same as Sean did. Want to appreciate Sean for doing everything. Um, Dennis, I hope you learned, everything from Sean. I hope you seen, when his ego got in the way, because we definitely seen it. Hopefully you know, you learn the good and you learn the bad. That's how you know, get yourself right, in case you put in the position. Now you in the position. Hopefully you don't make some of the same mistakes that he did. And like I said, which was very minor, but yeah, man, we definitely looking forward to you. I don't think a big ego guy, for us, self-centered guy. But like I said, we'll find out. But regardless, if you are leading our team to success, that's what matters at the end of the day. So hopefully, man, you continue to lead this legacy as a Saints franchise. Sean and Drew helped put the Saints on the map, and I hope you can continue that. And I hope you can bring in a quarterback that will, help lead you on this journey to continue success in New Orleans. Um, as far as the podcast, I mean, yeah, pretty much after the Super Bowl, yeah, we get into some off-season discussion, but now that Dennis has been hired and we got other positions to fill, we will start to be on pretty much, pretty soon, probably next week or within the next few days, just whenever we get some information regarding the New Orleans Saints. Um, and like you said, WD, man, it's exciting. It's gonna be an interesting off season. And I believe I just seen something where it's confirmed that Pete Carmichael will not be the offensive coordinator. If that's the case, then yeah, he's gonna have to bring another OC in, and we'll see how that fares out. But I just hope I guess we'll get into that more in the off season, because I was gonna make a comment on offensive linemen, but we might be losing some offensive linemen, so we don't know. We don't know. I do know. Hopefully, he make that change with Ruiz. I think Ruiz, we kind of done seen his ceiling. I mean, I don't know, but we get into more of that as time goes on. Uh, Brian Pearson, I mean, like I said, details still coming out. If it was self defense, man, I really can't fault a man for defending himself. I mean, bro looked like he got the head knocked off his shoulders, the person that he attacked. So I mean, I don't. I mean, like I said, we don't know Kamar, but we do know what we seen is a cool, laid back, chill guy. That really ain't on all that type of extra, you know, BS. So if he's defending himself, man, I can't fault that. Like, if he defended himself, then bro deserve what he got. But if it was on something else, then AK got to own up to it. So we'll see once once the story comes out. But other than that, y'all just stay on the lookout for. And now that the off season coming, we're going to start giving you guys heads up of when we come on instead of just popping on. So just be on the lookout for that, and we're just looking forward to an interesting off season. So that about wraps it up. Who That Nation? You guys have a great night. This is the WDN Chatline podcast, and we are out. Who that?
Life.